The property is a really unique one in the fact that it's had all this history. The client had a lot of childhood memories from the house that had been destroyed by the earthquake. The original house was owned by the client's parents. Not much left over after the house was removed and demolished after the earthquake, but there were some beautiful gardens that had been tended by the client's father, and they were retained and protected and then reintegrated into the ultimate landscaping of the final project. So this is a bit of a legacy project to rebuild a new family house on this site. So I'm Richard Naish, the design director of RTA Studio, and I was the design architect on Zed House.
It's the sort of house that I think will continue to evolve and just get better. The interiors are still developing. We're adding pieces to the interiors. Things are getting tweaked and moved about as the owners live and spend more time there. And that's what a house and an interior should be. I'm Christina Pickford and I was the interior designer for the Zed House.
The Zed House is located in a suburb called Fendalton. It's traditionally probably the suburb of Christchurch, shall we say. The house is a single level house spread out across this large site, which was a sort of a surprise to the client. They were expecting a 2-storey house because that's the sort of traditional response in this part of the world. We've stretched the house. It's a substantial size and it snakes around the site in the shape of the letter Z. That's why it's called the Zed House. The brief for this house was a really lovely one. We were really cognizant of the fact that we wanted to sort of inject some nostalgic childhood memories into the house. It was a family house. It wanted to reflect the brick memory of the original house and a number of the other features. Arched windows were in the original house, so we're acknowledging that in the arched entryway. And there's a lot of tiny little moments through the house which are quite personal to the client. So even though the house is a single level house, we've taken a lot of care and attention on floor and ceiling levels. We come through the front door and it's quite a low entrance, and then we enter into the higher space of the house, which is close to 4 metres, so there's that sort of compression and release. I think there's a surprise at this point where you are released into quite a casual arrangement of kitchen, family living, and then as you move through that hub of the kitchen, you'll go to a more formal dining area and a more formal living area out on the leading edge of the northern wing of the house.
The sunken family room is a really relaxed room with comfortable seating where you can sprawl out, watch a movie, read a book. The other living room is a more formal space. It's a sophisticated space with green accents that echo the greenery outside.
So from this entry point, if one turns left, you look straight down the gallery with these beautiful concrete in situ walls, and then there are niches along that wall which enter a pair of rooms each. The first one enters a music room. The next room is the first of the bedrooms, and we've created these little bays that you step off the main street, if you like, into a little ante-room before you enter the bedrooms. And then at the end of the road is the primary bedroom suite. And that main primary bedroom has a beautiful set of French doors that take you into a private garden area just off that, which is adjacent to the feature sculpture at the end of the hallway. In the summertime, we can open up all of the windows. It's like a lung, if you like, allows the house to breathe and ventilate. And we understand that's working really, really well in the hot Canterbury summers and the cold Canterbury winters.
The house has a lot of hard materials like concrete, brick, glass, So it was really important that the interiors brought in a softness as a counterpoint. The original homestead was damaged in the earthquakes and was subsequently demolished. But this contemporary brick home now sits on that original site and contains vestiges of the original English garden. It's really lovely to bring that past into the future.
Putting a house back on the site where the previous one had fallen over was quite a responsibility as well. So we sort of established really about a 200-year brief for this place. So its resilience to natural hazards such as earthquakes and flooding in this particular part of Christchurch were really important. It actually has a sort of minimum floor level that will survive future floods and sea level rise and inundations, and then also a substantial foundation system, a raft foundation system that floats across the riverbed gravels that the house sits on.
I think it's been a really successful collaboration, and the result is a magnificent family home that will endure.